Van Deeb, a dynamic leader with decades of experience building companies and crushing sales. He's been there and done that.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Van Deeb.
Inspiring audiences across the country to do it too. Here's Van.
Hey everybody, welcome to my podcast. As you see, this is something a little different. I am doing my podcast on video. We're trying it out after 3 years of doing podcasts with audio only. The greatest producer on the planet, might I add, Mr. Cam Broham, is actually putting all this on video. So I hope you love it. Matter of fact, I would love to have you give me your feedback if you enjoyed it being on video, and you can send me an email to van@vandeeb.com. So today I'm super excited because this is the time of year where I love to plan out what I want to accomplish next year. So in order to do that, we have to create a blueprint. We can't just say it in our minds or say it out loud, hey, I'm going to accomplish this next year. We got to have something as a blueprint. Not just goal setting, but what does next year look like for us? So I like to use the month of December every year. And actually, I get pretty fired up because I get super excited about what I want to see different in my life and what I want to change. So today, I'm going to go through with you some ideas and some strategic planning to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish for the next year. So I'm using notes. I'm using notes because, one, I don't want to forget anything that I have and that I've experienced in my wonderful business career. I don't want to forget anything that will help you get to where you want to go. My experiences, which is all I ever talk about. I'm the guy that's been there and done that. And I want to share with you my victories and my failures whenever I do these podcasts, which is what I've been doing the last 3 years. But the month of December, you're probably going to get a ton of emails, even stuff in the mail talking about goal setting and what you should be doing for next year. So this is the time of year that not just me and hopefully you, this is the time of year where lots of people think about, what do I want to do next year? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to quit? What are my resolutions? So I'm going to cover a whole lot about that, but I want to tell you something. Did you know that there's only about 3% of us, 3% of all of us that actually put our goals in writing? We really need to put everything in writing. So some of the stuff you're going to hear me talk about today is going to really help you accomplish what you want to accomplish. Cam, awful good coffee around here. Thank you very much. So one of my favorite things to say this time of year when I preach to people and I get invited to speak to companies about goal setting is, if you fail to plan, you're really planning to fail. Everything starts with a plan, but you can't overthink it. You can't overthink about all these things that you want to do. And don't create too many things for you to do, or else you're going to be one of the 90%. This is the God's truth. 90% of the people that set goals for the following year and set resolutions never do it. 50% of them abandon their plan of attack and their goals by the end of January. You don't want to be that person. Most people, and this is a crazy figure, but it's the truth, most people spend more time planning out their family vacation than they do their own career. Seriously. If you take time to plan out your life and your career, a lot of great things will happen. Setting goals will change the trajectory of your life, but only if your goals are part of a strategic plan of action. And I want to tell you something. One of the key words in everything that we're going to talk about today is action. Because if you don't put action to work, nothing happens. So you're going to hear us you're going to hear me talk about a plan of action. Basically, that is the blueprint. There's a gentleman that I really enjoy listening to, Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he says this: true nobility is not about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than you used to be. Isn't that all we're trying to do? Isn't that all we want to do? We want to be better next year than we were this year. I know I do. I'm constantly trying to find ways to make myself better. I mean, this isn't a dress rehearsal, ladies and gentlemen. This is the real deal. This is life. If you want to get better, when are you planning on getting better? Well, a plan is going to help you get there. It's like Zig Ziglar says, which I love Zig Ziglar. You need a plan to build a house. To build a life, it is even more important to have a plan or a goal. No difference. Everything starts with setting goals. Now, I want to tell you something that I really believe in. I believe that we as human beings that are trying to get from point A to point B and trying to accomplish things in our life, I believe that we overthink things. I keep going back to common sense, which is the title of one of my first books years ago called Common Sense Selling. I've always said I have a PhD in common sense because most of the decisions I make in my business life and my personal life are based on common sense. So common sense is two words when you're setting goals and you're trying to make a blueprint and a plan of attack: basics and fundamentals. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just practice the basics and fundamentals, watch what happens to your life. And a lot of you have heard me use this analogy during my presentations if you've ever been to one. When a football coach is running off the field at halftime, a reporter comes and shoves a mic in his face, and this coach is down by 7 points at halftime. Reporter comes up and says, "Hey, coach, you're down by 7 points. What are you going to do in the second half?" What does 99% of the coaches say? We're going to get back to the basics and fundamentals. So, when you're talking about goal setting, I'm telling you, don't overthink it. The basics and fundamentals. And I'm talking about things like if you're going to go to lunch with somebody on Monday and you know that you should only go for an hour and not 2 because you could be using that time to work on accomplishing your goals. It's discipline. Now, obviously, I can't tell you everything about goal setting. You're going to have to hire me to come to your company, and I'll create a blueprint for all of you to accomplish your goals. But today, here's what I want you to do. And I want you to get a pen and a pad. So you can put me on pause, whatever you got to do, but I need you to grab a pen and a pad because I want you to write this stuff down and I want you to read it every day. These are characteristics and steps to help you create a blueprint for a huge, successful year next year. You ready? You don't have to write down everything, but just write down what you feel is going to help you remember it. First of all, you need to decide exactly what you want. You need to think about what your goal is until you're crystal clear of what you expect from yourself. Now, that could be you want to be in the top 10 in sales in your company. That could be you want to make enough money to send your family on vacation. That could be you want to quit smoking. You want to quit drinking. That could be anything. But you need to decide exactly what you want until you are crystal clear about what you expect from yourself. So number one is decide exactly what you want. Number two, you hear me talk about this all the time. You got to write it down. Write down your goal. You have to be able to see it. Think on paper. When you write down a goal, you solidify its meaning and give it a tangible form. You create something that you can actually touch and see. You're reading it. You see it in writing. In contrast, a goal or an objective that is never put in writing is merely a wish or a fantasy. That's what I talked about earlier. If it's just in your mind and in your head, chances are you won't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, put it in writing. You have the time. Everybody has the time to put what they want to accomplish in writing. And don't ever forget this. When you're making yourself better, everybody will take notice. Your kids, your spouse, your coworkers, your boss, your employees. And don't think because you were a certain way in high school or you were a certain way in college or in your 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, 50s, 60s. We all have the ability to change and to start a new chapter, something that you really want to become. But if we don't put it in writing, it's merely a wish or a fantasy. Putting it in writing gives you something tangible to look at. So, number two is put your blueprint and goal in writing. Number three, set a deadline. Every goal, everything that you do has got to have a deadline. You know what's going to happen when you make a deadline? You're going to eliminate the word someday. You know, I'm going to accomplish that someday. I plan on doing this someday. With a deadline, you're going to say, by February 3rd, I'm going to have this done. By July 22nd, I want to have this done. By August 1st, I want to get my real estate license. By May 23rd, I want to be in the top 20 of producers in my company. By August 1st, I want to have 10 more employees in my company that are helping me build it. Set a deadline. Every written goal has got to have a deadline. A goal or a decision without a deadline has no urgency. None. If you don't set a definite deadline, you're going to naturally procrastinate and get very little done. I'll get to it. No, you've got to make it like this is the law. My deadline is the law. Okay, number three, set a deadline. Okay? All righty then. Number four, make a list of everything you can think of. Just write that down. Make a list of everything you can think of that you will have to do to achieve your goal. As you think of additional activities, add them to your list. Keep building your list until it's complete. A list of things that you need to do to accomplish your goals gives you a visual picture and it gives you a track to run on. Okay, so let's use some examples. I want to be number one in sales. Let's say that's your goal. What do you have to do to be number one in sales? Well, make the list of what you have to do. One is you got to make more cold calls. Two, you got to see more people. Maybe you have to go to the office a little bit earlier. Maybe you have to get up a little bit earlier. Maybe you have to go to bed earlier. Maybe you have to make more relationships. This is what I'm talking about. In business, if your goal is to be number one in sales, make a list of everything you can think of that's going to help you accomplish that goal. If it's personal and you say let's say you want to quit smoking. You know what? Then put on your list, go buy a crap load of candy. So the day that you decide to quit smoking, you know you got a replacement there to help you get through it. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe that's one of your goals. Well, start stocking up on things you know that are healthy and nutritious. You get my drift. Make a list of things that are going to help you accomplish your goal. Number 5, organize this into a plan. Organize your list into a plan. Write that down. Organize your list into a plan. Number 5. Just take a few minutes to decide what you need to do first and what you can do later. What we're doing is we're prioritizing. With a written goal, which is all we've been talking about, and an organized plan of action, you will be far more productive and efficient than people who are carrying their goals around in their mind. You know what we call that when you're talking about your goals, but you're not doing it? We call that big hat, no cattle. You know what I mean by that? I'll wear a big hat, and I think I'm a cattle rancher, but I don't have any cattle. That's not who you are. Organize this. Organize your plan. And then everything will start taking place. Because when you organize your priorities of your plan to accomplish your goals, you're taking action, aren't you? Yeah, and read it every day. Number 6, my favorite thing to tell people when I'm in front of them and when I'm talking to you. Number 6, take action. Take action. Write that in bold letters on number 6. Take action. If you take action on your plan immediately, watch what happens. Do something. Do anything. And I love this. An average plan that is executed is far better than a brilliant plan where nothing is done. So that's that floating around in your head. Take action. Do something. Even if you're sitting on the couch at night, stop for a second. What can I do right now to get up off this comfortable couch to take action that's going to help me with my plan to accomplish what I want to accomplish next year? I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm a little out there, but I love business. I'm one of the lucky ones every day that says I can't wait to go to work. I'd love it if my audience eventually developed that mindset where you're passionate and you can't wait to go accomplish new things. But January 1st, hungover or not from New Year's Eve, I am jacked about the new year. Mostly because I spent time weeks before creating this plan to make this year, this next year, my best year yet. You know who's in charge of making your year your best year yet? The person in the mirror. They're the ones that are going to get you there. Don't count on anybody else to get you there. If you have support and people that are in your camp and they want to help you accomplish your goals, which is really important, by the way, to share your goals, that's wonderful. But you're the decision maker. You decide. And here's the thing that is wonderful, because I've never been great in the beginning, ever. So just know this. You don't have to be great to get started. You just have to start somewhere to be great. We all develop that. A lot of you guys know my background. I grew up with a family of teachers. I didn't have any money. I wasn't spoiled. I wasn't entitled. I was spoiled with love and attention by my family, my brothers and sisters, and my parents. But I made a decision that I want to work hard and I want to accomplish things. A discipline like what we're talking about today. I had nobody but me to fulfill my expectations. It's never too late. You make the decision. Okay, number 7, the last one. I know you guys want me to go on forever and ever and ever, but I don't like too long a podcast because I have ADD, I'm pretty sure, and I don't like doing anything longer than 20, 30 minutes. Number 7, resolve to do something every single day. Write that down. This is the last one. Resolve to do something every single day. Because if you resolve to do something every single day, it will move you closer to achieving your goals. You have to build this activity into your daily schedule, whatever it might be. It will help you with your commitment. I know that you're going to have this written plan and all these 7 things that we've talked about. Don't skip a day. Don't skip a day on making your life better. Even if there's days you don't feel like working on your plan of attack, your plan of action, and your goals. Don't skip a day. Just do something that might contribute to helping you with your goals. And I want to tell you something in closing here. Ladies and gentlemen, do not be afraid to share your goals. A lot of you that have been to my presentation and my speeches know that I'm really big on sharing your goals. And a lot of you know a lot of the cool things that I would do to share my goals. Here's the thing, what happens when you share your goals. You all of a sudden become accountable. Now be prepared. Some people you're going to share your goals with are probably going to be jealous of you and probably not be too supportive. That happens. So make sure you're sharing your goals with somebody that is in your camp, somebody that loves you, somebody that wants to see you succeed, and do the same with them. Here's what I recommend. Grab somebody that you enjoy. Might be your son or daughter, might be your spouse, your significant other, your best friend, your boss, maybe a coworker. Say, hey, how would you like to hold each other accountable? Yeah? Are you goal-oriented? Yes, I am. Well, then let's share each other's goals and hold each other accountable. Here's what happens. When you tell people that love you and that care about you what your plan is, what you want to accomplish, they're going to hold you accountable. They just are. And it's liberating to talk about your goals. I'm a big fan. If you've read some of my books, you'll know. And by the way, you can get my books at vandeeb.com, and they make great gifts for your favorite business people. But I really believe in manifesting, and I really believe in visualization. You know, everything I've accomplished in my life, I visualized. I closed my eyes, and I thought about, what does this look like if I work hard, if I do these 7 things to accomplish my goal and create a blueprint? What will it look like once I get there? And man alive, this visual picture, I'd see it, I could touch it and feel it. I manifested it. I'm also big in the power of prayer. Not praying to God for these material things, but I pray to God for the ability that I already have, that I know I have. I pray to God that He brings it out in me so I can do all these things while I'm here on this earth. So, ladies and gentlemen, this should be a time to celebrate. This should be a time to celebrate what you're going to be doing to make your life better. Because you know you can. Nobody's better than you. Nobody. We're all on a level playing field. If you have people that you know that are accomplishing more than you, you know why? They made a decision to, and there's a real good possibility they have a written plan. I'm begging you guys, make a decision to accomplish what you want to accomplish next year. Why? because you can. And let me tell you, if not now, then when are you planning on doing it? And if not you, then who's going to help you get there? So I hope you enjoyed my first video podcast. And please sign up for this podcast so you get it right in your inbox and you don't have to go look for it. VanDeeb.com, you can sign up, Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. I'm really grateful that you take your valuable time to spend it with me. Thank you very much.
A Hurrdat Media Production.